Hello, fellow fans of Clash of Clans. Copying Galadon on the intro here today. How about that? But this is Saber from the Neighborhod coming back at you with a CWL recap, and I am proud to say that in 1 year, the Neighborhod has advanced from Crystal 3 to Champs League 3. A total of a 6-tier advance, and we're very, very proud about it. Everyone worked really hard for this, and it's really great when you set a long-term goal and you actually get to hit it. So, just looking at that, it was a close CWL. It actually came down to the final war. We ended up sweeping the field, of course, but the second place clan won their first 6 wars and then lost to us in a nail biter at the end there. Could have been a lot closer, but they had a failed attack, so that kind of ruined their chances of things. These are our top attackers. Top 5 going to Brown Mamba, Saber, Kick Fritz, Shady Titan, Pointlessness. 6 and 7 being Bergenson and Al, 8 Reese Boy, 9 Papa Puppy, and 10 Rose Marielle. So looking back at that, we're going to review some of the 3-star attacks. There's 24 3-star attacks over 7 wars. So I don't know that we'll hit all of them, but I'll do my best. So we're going to start with war number 1 against Texas, and this is my attack against John P82. So coming in with a hog raid here. A lot of these compartmentalized bases are really vulnerable to a Go-Bo-Ho, and also because of his lack of point defenses on the edge, left him really vulnerable to like a basic funnel. And because of that, I went with the wall breaker entrance, which allows me to use the slammer for just dropping additional hogs later into the base. So when you have that opportunity, it's a pretty great thing. And 2 ice golems also just sort of helps the kill squad move in there with a little bit more impunity. Couple of Valkyries also because I had the space, why not? Poison spell, jump spell, just typical Go-Bo-Ho type things. Queen's moving through, gonna boost the King ability any second now. Speed it up to 2 times. King just sort of working through the base, and then I'm going to start with the Slammer, and then send in the rest of the Hogs from that 6 o'clock angle. Hogs are just going to sort of move through the base. I have 3 heal spells remaining, plus the Warden. Second heal spell goes down. Warden ability any second now as the Town Hall pops, gets all of the Hogs, which is really great. They're going to continue to sort of work through the base. Heal spell there was a little bit premature on that 3 o'clock side, I would say, but it is what it is. And the Hogs do end up working through most of the defenses until we have a slight hiccup here at the end. They get through this Expo, and they get through this Archer Tower, and they get through the Cannon, I believe. However, they do not make it through the Wizard Tower or the Mortar, but that's where my boy, the Grand Warden, comes in, and with his sniping ability, takes care of business. So I'm going to put this on 4 times, and we're going to let the Warden go to work, and you're going to see the end of this triple. So that's another reason why you want to send your Warden with your Hogs instead of with your kill team. You might get a little bit extra benefit there on the end. So next attack, we have number 7, Pointlessness against Darren. This is a classic internet base, and Pointlessness takes it down with a nice little hog attack. I had not seen this way of doing it before. Cool thing, you can actually see this player has the Ice Queen already. This was the first day of CWL, 1 day after the skin had come out, so someone spent a little bit of coin there to pull that off. But here we are. He starts with the Queen Walk, and again, I'm going to speed it up to 2 times just because there are a massive amount of attacks I want to get through and a lot of really skilled players that I don't want to sort of limit their screen time. So he uses the Poison Spell and the Rage to work through the clan support and the enemy Barbarian King. He uses a P.E.K.K.A and a couple of Wizards to hack through those storages. And what you're going to see here is he's going to try and kind of create a funnel on one side and then use the Wrecker to go into one of those Inferno compartments. In this case, that right-hand side, I believe. Any second now, the King's going to come down to sort of make the other side of that funnel. And what's really nice about what he did there is he waited to see which side the Queen was going to before he popped that funnel, right? If the King, or if the Queen would have gone left, he would have started the King on the low end there. And so what he does here is now that the Town Hall's gone, you can basically see this entire base is in this nice V shape. And because it's in this nice V shape, it's just overkill for the Hogs. So we're going to put this on 4 times. There's nothing exceptionally special from this part on. It's just a classic hog raid. But that funnel and that setup with the Queen charge was really, really nice. And it's not every day you get to swag a freeze on a max Town Hall 12. So don't run this layout in war, folks. You will get wrecked. And again, I'm not going to complain about that Champs 3 logo popping up every time. I'm really happy about that. And 2 more triples. We have Berg and we have Shady Titan. Shady Titan was against a Town Hall 11, so we're not going to show that one. But again, this is another classic sort of island base you see at the Town Hall 12 level a lot. I'm going to speed this one up because Berg just basically overpowered it with 5 ice golems and a lot of witches and bats. So it wasn't really a crazy attack, but I was impressed with the amount of ice golems he used, just because that's not something you see every day. Also, he doesn't bring poison spells in his attacks ever. He just thinks that he can sort of roll through it with his queen and the witches, which, hey, I respect that. I'm not quite so confident when I use my own attacks, but what are you going to do, right? He almost didn't get the Town Hall here, but the Wrecker managed to get there and take care of business when the P.E.K.K.A. came out. And a couple more ice golems also headed over. But then we have just mass bats coming through. I'm going to speed it up to 4 times. Nothing to do with that many bats. I mean, all the splash damage was dead, and he still has a massive force left. There's really not much to be said there. So great hit from Berg. Once again, our beautiful Champs 3 logo pops up, and we're going to move on to War 2, the Neighborhod versus this, I believe, Chinese clan. I'm not particularly sure what the characters, what language they represent. But anyway, we're going to get right back into it. This was a cool war because our 13 took down their 2, and our 11 took down their 3. So we're going to start with Q-Dog, coming in with a Lalo. Q-Dog is kind of one of our Lalo specialists, along with Firewing Major. They do these Queen Charge Lalo attacks that have the ability to, kind of get that high percentage 2-star with 3-star upside consistently. And if Q's heroes were a little higher, he'd probably be a little bit more consistent, but he's still been very good for us as it is, so shout out to Q. I'm going to, again, put it up to 2 times just because of the speed. But you're going to see this nice wall breaker entry, and that allows him to use the Slammer for the air raid, and uses the King to sort of work through things. And the King went down quickly, thankfully, so the healers did not leave the Queen. But our charging Queen is now going to get probably, 1 air defense, maybe 2 air defenses. She already got the Eagle, she already got the Queen. A couple of Ice Golems there are just designed to slow down Queen charges. But because he got so much value with that King, it didn't really slow it down enough. There's still minute 45 on the clock, and generally if you deploy by minute 30, you're usually all right. But Q is actually cutting it a little bit close here, but there you have it, right at the 1 minute 30 logo. There comes the Slammer, right? And any second now, you're going to see the rest of his troops. So he deployed at about a minute 20, which is, a little later than Itsu, I think, famously suggests a minute 30. But he has so many loons coming in, he has so many haste spells that he's not as worried about the time as he usually might be. And so you're going to see here, they're going to hit the Town Hall with a big Warden ability right now, and then move through the base. He's still got 2 haste spells. That's a single target Inferno. This many loons with single target Inferno isn't going to be much of a challenge. The Queen is still up. She still has her ability. So they're just going to haste their way through the base, and there's not enough damage left to kind of do anything to them, really. It was close on time, I will say that, but he managed to pull it off. And one of the things that's so nice is you can see he started the cleanup as his loons went around in that clockwise direction, which really helped him hit that target at the end, Next hit, Shady Titan, coming up 11v3 here. Not a special base, but it's a common base. You'll see it a lot. And here's a classic way to take it down from Shady. It wasn't the cleanest of 3 stars, but what you're going to see is you want to basically get rid of the trash on the sides and start with a P.E.K.K.A. Smash right at that Town Hall. Put a jump spell into the center area near that, maybe that clan castle. And then you're going to end up basically just raging and freezing on through the base. Nicely thought out to start with the Ice Golem there, because as soon as it died, you're going to see a freeze spell. But the single target Inferno unfortunately locked onto his P.E.K.K.A. instead, so it didn't quite work out. But Warden ability pops, again, a little bit early, because the Town Hall was the first thing he hit, so he didn't get as much value as he might have in a different kind of raid. But this is a pretty well-designed trap base, and a less skilled attacker might have fumbled there a little bit. So anyway, he keeps raging through the base. I think he dropped 2 rage spells and a heal there, and he's now only down to 2 spells. He's 50% of the base, though, already down. Had a little bit of an issue here where the Queen decided to walk on him, but thankfully the healer split and went to the main force instead of hanging on to the Archer Queen. So he continues to just rage through this base. I'm going to put it on 2 times again now. And he sends in the Slammer from the top. I believe there are loons in that Slammer, and that sort of helps take care of some of the upper side defenses, including the Expo and the air defense, I believe. I'm not sure how many things he got here. It's been a while since I saw this attack, but 2 defenses, 3 defenses, and you can see at this point there's enough troops left that this base is in some trouble. He's got a couple of bowlers left. He's got the King left. It's going to be close, but Warden should be able enough to take it down, right? And there you have it. A Warden, again, clutching an attack. This is our 2nd war in a row where you have that Warden staying up the whole time, taking care of business. Put it on 4 times to watch the rest of it. But again, this is how you do it. Use that Warden at the end. He's really a lifesaver. All right, next attack. We got to go all the way down to the bottom, and we're going to see Bergensen again versus 12. And again, you're going to see his sort of mass bowler and witch double electro dragon funnel. 5 Ice Golem Bat Smash attack. So we're going to put this on 4 times since we've seen his style already. But nice funnel. Everything goes right up the gut, and then it's just rage your way to victory. A little bit risky when you're starting from the opposite side of the Town Hall, I will say that, especially in CWL, because with those bat spells, if you don't get the Town Hall, those bats are not getting the Town Hall. But things work out. His Queen managed to keep her ability all the way until she got there, and everything in the base was basically taken down before the bats even showed up. So they kind of just basically helped in the cleanup, but there were only 3 or 4 defenses left there once they finally got deployed. And so, we're going to watch the last couple buildings go down. But again, nice hit by Bergensen. He knows what he does, and he does it well. On to our, I believe, final attack of this war. No, there's 2 more. So we have Pointlessness and we have Danger. Pointlessness started this war really hot. He had 2 triples, and then he sort of cooled down after that. But he still ended up well enough. I believe he ended up with, 3 or 4? 3 on the 7-day war, I think, which is pretty good rate, 3 out of 7, right? And so you're going to see a variation of the sort of Queen Charge Hogs here. Coming in from the north, I believe, starts with a P.E.K.K.A funnel, again putting it on 2 times because so many attacks to cover. Queen goes down, Wallbreaker goes down, uses the king to create a very nice funnel, and then he's opened up a lot of compartments there, and there's really nowhere for the queen to go but in, again, a well-designed funnel, and the CC even draws it in further, which is very nice. That laboratory maybe could have dragged her out, but it didn't, and so now she's in. And then she also has the opportunity to take down the enemy queen, bust through that wall because the ability was perfectly popped. Another rage spell goes up. She can take down the eagle, a single target inferno. When the queen charge gets that much value, you're starting to get worried if you're the defender. The only thing I slightly disagree with here, I think the pathing would have been a bit smoother if he started his hogs from the opposite side, say 9 instead of 6, but it was more than enough. There were so many hogs that this was just going to be an overkill either way. So I'm going to speed it up to 4 times. Still has a heal spell left, just not much counterweight left. A little bit close on the time to clean things up just because of that 1 archer tower up top, but he manages to pull it off with a little bit of time to spare, and I believe he leaves this Barbarian King standing, which is always kind of funny. On to the next attack of the day. 15, we got Danger coming in. I believe this was Danger's 1 of 2 triples maybe, but it's a premature Town Hall 12. It's got its 5-star Giga Tesla done, but it is only 2 Infernos. Oh, no, I'm sorry, it's 3 Infernos, but they're level 5 Infernos. They're not fully developed yet. But what you're going to see is, again, a variation of Bergensen's attack. He uses P.E.K.K.As instead of Electro Dragons for the funnel, though. And you can see the funnel's been made. He's going to come in from this 9 o'clock side here, or 3 o'clock side, excuse me, and just head right up the gut towards the Town Hall and just sort of rage his way to victory. There's not a whole ton of splash on the 3 o'clock side. As you can see, it's mainly only this wizard tower here, and everything else sort of should be taken care of by the bowlers and the kill team. That's not really even a kill team, it's a main force if things go well. He didn't even bring a poison, and it's nice because this CC ended up being all minions, which I do not recommend. He's going to pop the Warden ability as the Town Hall explodes, as usual. Didn't get as many, or I should say as much of the force into the base as he would have wanted, probably, but it was no bother. He has the bats just moving through nice and clean, and he still has another free spell for when they end up hitting that Wizard Tower in the middle, and so there it is. They end up hitting that Wizard Tower in the middle, taking it down. The bats got so much value, went basically all the way around the base in an entire circle, and he smashed this base. Good job, Danger. So again, we'll wait for us to see that 3-star logo, and then we'll move on to the next one. All right, so there you have it. And the last attack, that was the last attack of this war, excuse me. So we'll move on to War 3, which again was a nice victory. The Neighborhod versus Bebek Jaya CWL. I butchered that pronunciation, I'm sure. Only 2 triples. These guys actually were very poor attackers, as you can see. They had a fail. A couple of 1-stars. Fun fact, we only gave up 1 3-star on defense in 7 wars, and it didn't come until the 7th war. So hopefully that speaks well about our own defense. But these guys were pretty strong. We only got 2 on them, and we got 6 on a pretty strong clan in the war before. So triples from Mamba and Koi in this one. Koi was a little bit quieter. He had some exams this month, so he wasn't really able to fully participate and plan as much as he used to. In fact, he even sat out the last couple wars. But similar base to the one Shady Titan smacked earlier. Mamba going at it a slightly different way. We're going to speed it up to 2 times because we've kind of seen a similar version of this before. And what you're going to see is lures the CC, sends in those suicide heroes just to take down the Town Hall. Queen manages to get through the entire CC, and she's going to pop the ability at the last second, gets the Town Hall. Got the enemy Queen, got the enemy King, and he's going to start Slammer and just mass hogs. I mean, we're talking like 45 hogs, I think, and then 8 in the Slammer, so close to 50 hogs, 5 heal spells, plus a Warden ability. There's not much to be done here, especially with those weak Infernos, a lot of them being level 5, one of them being single target. Just complete overkill. A little bit of extra cleanup to do, and he realizes that it's so spread out that minions are probably the best choice, so you see a lot of minions around there. A couple of them got picked off by that air bomb, but not that it mattered. He had this one down with time to spare. So, next triple goes to Koi, and or excuse me, I believe it's pronounced Choi. So he was a little bit quiet on this war, but again, he's coming in with a nice Electron style attack here, and he's our second best attacker by percentage. We have a bot called Minion Bot on our Clash of Clans server, which tracks people's triple percentages, and Koi triples at about a 43% rate. The only player that's individually better than him is Big Owl, who triples at approximately a 53% rate across 2 accounts. So they're our top 2 attackers by percentage by far. And we're going to see Koi getting to do what he does best in this attack. Now, a little bit of a low-level base, so maybe that makes it a little bit easier for him. But again, I don't complain about that stuff. 3 stars is 3 stars in my book, and especially if it helps my team get moved up to Champs 3 CWL, which, of course, I'm absolutely just overwhelmingly proud of. Really can't emphasize that enough. Nice little wall breaker entry here. Seeing that a lot, where you use the Ice Golem to distract a couple defenses, and then use that to get the Queen into the base. So he's doing a couple portions here, right? So the Queen's going to try and take down the Town Hall, and I believe the enemy Queen, if she's fortunate. A little bit of a premature Queen ability there, but it was kind of what he's looking for. He wants to get that CC out, but here comes the Slammer. And the Queen's going down. Queen's a little bit distracted. Slammer's coming in with a couple of loons. He's starting the La Loon right into it, but he has this clone spell, so maybe it's not an Electron. Oh, wait, it is an Electron. There it is. So there's your E-Drag. E-Drag comes out. E-Drag is actually getting slain by a baby dragon, which is not something you see every day, but took down the Queen, got a lot of loons into the core, a couple of those clone loons, and that's interesting. I don't often see the Electron happening at the same time as the La Loon, but he pulled it off, and it worked out really well. Baby dragon's still up, but I'm sure it'll get slain by a Lava Pup here somewhat. Look at that though, 3 haste spells and a freeze left, plus a warden ability. This base is donezo. And what's nice is a lot of the high level clans are using this Lava Hound Baby Dragon CC, and if you see that, it means it's really vulnerable to 2 attack strategies, one being air and the other one being mass hog, because a single poison spell will take down that Baby Dragon. So that's it for War 3. On to War 4. I believe this war was against another Indonesian clan, Turag for BD, and they brought 4 Town Hall 11s to a Masters I CWL, which, well, it didn't work out for them well. As you can see, we put up 38. That was the highest anyone put up against any single clan in this war, which means we still have three Town Hall 12, 12v12 triples. 4 12v12 triples to review from this war, so let's get started with it. The first one being the lowest one is me. Just a very easy base, and I'm going to put this at 4 times, but I'm sure you've seen how I do this one a million times. I come in from the top, I do sort of like a rage, kill team into the center, send everyone in with a wall wrecker, kill the Queen, kill the King, and then I just start hogs from one side. It was a little bit off, if I recall, from what it ought to have been. Had some slight issues with getting to the Town Hall, I think, since things sort of went hazy here. But my Queen did go back to the center, and once that single target Inferno started targeting my King, I sent the hogs in from there. Saved a couple of hogs to sort of form this funnel. But they do sort of just basically walk around and ignore the Town Hall, which had everyone a little bit concerned as we were watching this live. But then they got out of range, and I saved the last heal spell for them to get through the Town Hall. And when they split, I was just like, you guys gotta get through that, and they did. So again, easy attack. It worked out, on a full strength base. The way I did it might not have worked out because of that double layer of walls. I probably would have changed my strategy slightly, but again, it's not a full max base, so it worked out. So next one, we got Moon Cricket. I believe this was Moon's only triple of the war, but again, really common base, a little bit weaker than you might normally see, but coming in with some hogs, Queen Charge hogs. Gonna put it on 2 times as always. Lures the CC. Sends in the Wrecker, and basically his Queen works as a sidecar for the Wrecker here, and just walks all the way down. He uses a P.E.K.K.A. to sort of make a better funnel for the Queen, but it doesn't quite work, unfortunately, as the P.E.K.K.A. does get stuck, and the Queen comes down anyway. But when that Wall Wrecker pops, his own P.E.K.K.A. comes out, gets, the Expo there maybe, and the Inferno Tower. and his queen just sort of marches through, just taking care of business basically. And you can see that of the things left, he has 3 heal spells and 30 hogs to deal with them, plus a queen ability, a freeze spell, and an earthquake. So this attack didn't really go exactly as planned. He was trying to get the queen into the center to get that eagle, but it ends up working out quite fine, because all of those defenses are sort of lined up in a massive line. And when defenses are lined up in, a line, let's say, that's when your hog raid absolutely can destroy them. So, speed this one up to 4 times. Ironically, the last defense go down as an eagle. He swagged the earthquake there. Nice little troll Teslas at the top. Those have been the cost, or they have stopped our clan from getting 3 stars in the past. We had several attacks this war that were, not this war, but, the CWL as a length, 99, 98%, where it was just like someone got caught on a troll Tesla and ruined their attack. Next one, Kick Fritz, aka Big Al, coming in with his classic P.E.K.K.A. Smash kind of attack. Oh, this is a bow bat. So again, I'm going to put it on 2 times. I love how he uses these bowlers to pick off mortars whenever he can. Gets 2 buildings for the 6 space. If you can get a defense for 5 or 6 space, it's a good exchange by definition, because of the, if you do the math, trust me, but it is a good exchange. Then he starts directly into the queen charge. One thing I disagree with Al on is Al tends to pop his queen ability a little bit early in these kind of smash attacks, which I'm not a big fan of, but it does work out for him consistently, so maybe he does know something that I don't. Who's to say? But anyway, he continues to just sort of rage, and he uses the warden ability to try and get through that last little section there. I was worried about getting the town hall. I'm going to speed this up to 4 times, because any second now you're going to see the bats. Send in all those balloons to get that Inferno Tower. It didn't work out because of one little air mine, so that kind of ruined everything there. But the bats got a lot of value, and then the queen is at full health and manages to work her way through most of these defenses, although she does end up going down here, I believe, to... Oh, wait, no. She survived and clutched all of the defenses, so yeah, that's why he tripled. But I think that would have been a good spot to have the queen ability left, but he used it a little earlier. But anyway, 3 is 3. So then this is Rosemariel, my other account, coming in with a mass hog 3-star attack. When you see this exterior queen over here, you can basically send an ice golem and your heroes and take care of business. And so that's what I did. I used a little bit of a baby dragon to funnel, but got taken out by Seeking Air Mine, so it did exactly nothing. And I was hoping to get the town hall here, but I didn't really think I was going to get it. So I just basically, dropped the poison spell and started to look for what I was doing with my hogs at this point, because this is an attack that could be, sort of tight on time, I guess. But watch how basically God mode this queen goes, where she basically takes down all of these clan support troops. She ends up getting the town hall as well, but you're going to see the hogs and the stone slammer are going to end up coming it down from that sort of 6 to 9 side. I deploy the stone slammer at 9 if memory serves. I was trying to get that single target inferno, and it ended up working. Look at that, queen still working, ends up getting the town hall. How fortunate. I did not think that was going to work out. Stone slammer got targeted a little bit earlier than I would have liked, and I ended up dropping a heal spell over there because I really wanted that inferno down. Didn't want to have my hog split. Use one of the rage spells I had intended to use on my kill team on the hogs, because I sort of misdid the plan, I guess, a little bit. But that was more than enough to just sort of rage them through the base. I'm going to speed it up to 4 times here. And so I just sort of used my last 2 heal spells, and they just sort of move on through. Got a little bit tight here where I had to use the last heal to save them from the wizard tower. But though they are low health, they were more than capable of taking care of business. So got a little bit close here with the Barbarian King on that altar statue. I was worried maybe we'd get a 99, but because of the angle they came from, they ignored the Barbarian King and just took down his altar. And there were 2 hogs there with 0 health, so if they didn't do that, that was not a 3-star. So that's all 4 triples from this war. On to war number 5. And this one was another war where we made some mistakes. Had a 1-star, and it cost us. We only had 2 triples to begin with, so we ended up, right on that 2-star average. But again, look at how these other teams are faring against us. 24 stars. 2 of their guys didn't even show up, but still, like, if they would have, if you look, we had them on percentage by an excessive amount, 83 to 59 there. So I'll show you Kick Fritz here first. Very premature base, and Al does what Al does best. Comes in with this is his kind of classical P.E.K.K.A. Smash army that he uses all the time. Sees how much value he can get, and so he rages that Electro Dragon. Look at that. We're talking 15, 16, 17, 18% from the Electro Dragon. Starts the Queen Charge at the top. Really nicely how he did the funnel there. He knew that he didn't need to sort of drop any funneling troops on the top, and so the Queen would end up heading in regardless. Again, starting on the opposite side of the Town Hall, always a little bit risky in CWL, but we trust Al as he is our best attacker, and he takes care of business here. So as you can see, no spells spells left, but he does have the king ability and the queen ability, and there's not a lot left here. Town Hall 10 level walls, those level 11 walls, these orange ones here, right? You see those on a Town Hall 12. Generally, if you're doing a P.E.K.K.A. smash attack, your P.E.K.K.A.s will literally just smash through everything. There's just not enough to hold them back. So those level 13 walls are really important in stopping the P.E.K.K.A. smash style attack. So there's one more triple here. Where is it? Oh, it's number 1, Brown Mamba. Is this the Bat Dragon attack? Yes, it is. So Mamba had a really beautiful Bat Dragon attack here. I've seen this on YouTube, I'm sure by now, all of you guys. But what he does here is he basically clears out all the defenses around the Town Hall. So it's not really what you might think of when you think Bat Drag, but he uses the bats to clear out all the defenses around the Town Hall, and what he's trying to do is once he starts his dragons, he'll send the Stone Slammer at the Town Hall, and he ends up getting a lot of value, though. I mean, look at this. He gets all of those defenses, ends up getting the single target Inferno, which is the one thing that would be the biggest bane to dragons, I would say. The Eagle's kind of shallow here, which is really nice, and he gets a sweeper, so that's even better. And then he's going to start sort of a couple funneling dragons, and I think his heroes here soon. This was an attack where we all were worried that he was gonna kind of run into some time concerns as he was doing it, but he's starting the cleanup before the attack, basically, right? He's got those minions going up top, he's got the queen going as well. What he's effectively done is he's cleared off this entire side for once that Town Hall activates, he's just going to send the Stone Slammer right at it, and then you're going to see his dragons coming down from this end here, and there they are right now. And they're just going to move through the base. He has 4 free spells and a rage spell, so this is a variation of the Frozen Dragon. And as you can see, that Town Hall is completely isolated, right? We were all like, oh no, his dragons aren't going at the Town Hall when this happened. But then we saw, oh, he has a Stone Slammer. And he has all those dragons still up. There's no air defenses remaining. So Stone Slammer is going to go at that Town Hall any second now. This was an overkill 3-star. This is a beautiful attack strategy, and I would really suggest getting to learn it a little bit. I'm working on it myself, in addition to my sort of normal hog raids, but it does the job. I mean, his Stone Slammer didn't even have to pop there. That's true overkill in my book. So on to War 6, and in War 6 we will be investigating a little bit less than the normal amount of triples. We had a little bit of a situation here where one of our guys did not show up, and so he was he was basically booted on the spot. And that was that. So we got fortunate that that didn't really hurt us because we had 3 triples, but we also had a 0-star fail and a 1-star, so that negated all of our triples. So we would have been right at that 2-star average of 30 if things had worked out. But again, our guy didn't show, but one of their guys didn't show. So we got lucky to win this war. We don't really like relying on luck, so of course we take that guy. We'll start from the bottom. Very weak, premature Town Hall 12, common internet base. This is me again. I end up being that rover where it's like, if we're worried our lower guys can't take care of a base, I take care of it, and so that always inflates my CWL stars a little bit, but hey, I'm not complaining. It helps me get those bonuses, right? Put this on 4 times, because this is a really... You've seen this attack before if you've watched any of my other CWL recaps. You basically just move that wrecker all the way in, and then you start the hogs. The one thing I did nicely down here is down at 6, I sort of created a funnel, took out some of those defenses so that these hogs would go right from this expo to this Inferno Tower in towards the Town Hall area. I didn't want them bouncing out to this wizard and that archer tower. And thankfully they didn't so, but there's more than enough hogs left. This was an overkill, and at this point in the war, we were actually down a star, and so I had to triple to just get it back to the even average. So that was a pretty cool attack, just in terms of like clutch factor, I guess. But again, it wasn't a difficult base. So Al coming down with the big triple here as well. Another bat drag attack, so I'm going to put this up to 4 times. We just saw Mamba do the same thing. But first you're going to see he starts with the heroes to sort of build the funnel. Queen did not get quite as much as he wanted, I think, and then he just sends in all of the dragons right at the Town Hall, and he does sort of the reverse, where Mamba used the bats first, Al sends the dragons in first and just rages them through, and then he drops back-end E-dragons because he sees a lot of clumped defenses, and the bats end up doing a whole lot of damage as well. Stone Slammer, again, does not pop, so what are you going to say there? Overkill again. Very nice attack, though. On to the next attack of this war, we have, just showed that one, we have the final triple here is Brown Mamba, and Mamba had a really hot war. He was consistently tripling the top bases, and he ended up being our #1 attacker for the entire week. But he's coming in here with a mass hog Goboho, 40 hogs with a very small kill squad, heroes and bowlers, it looks like, basically. So I'm going to put this up to 2 times again. In come the heroes. He leaves one little building. That's your anchor building. I'm sure you've heard me say that term before, but it's very effective if you leave a little building, you know. Bowlers did not quite go in as he had planned, but he uses the warden ability to sort of get through that town hall, Giga Tesla explosion, and then he just starts the hogs even before the dragons are down, because he just figures his queen will get to them, and it basically does, because the queen still popped her ability, but, you know, so many hogs left, just so many hogs. This was a really well-planned attack, and as you can see, still has a heal spell left, and they're just marching on through this base. There's a couple of splash damages left, but there's really not enough point defense along with that splash to cover, and unfortunately for the defender, and fortunately for us, it doesn't cover. So that's it. It was a little bit tight on the cleanup, but he did have a couple of wizards and minions up there at the top that we didn't initially anticipate, and so this is going to be 3 stars. All right, so there's 3, and then on to the final and 7th war. So this war was full of drama. It started off right at the beginning, and I'll do these in order of occurrence, I guess. It starts off right at the beginning with this triple from Reese. And Reese is up and coming, one of our elders in the clan. Very good with these hog raids, but he's been a little bit inconsistent over the last couple weeks. He's still kind of getting the ropes under his, or getting his feet wet, I guess, in the sense. But this is a really nice funnel. Baby Dragon gets a ton of value. Electro Dragon gets even more value, but it breaks the ring there, more importantly. And so he can send these P.E.K.K.A.s, Ice Golems, and heroes in. He also, the one thing we sort of argue with him a little bit about is he always uses wall breakers as a backup to the wall breaker, but I would argue that he could probably use a hog there in the place of the 3 wall breakers. I was really surprised he thought he could get this much, but it worked out, because he managed to use the king to get through that jump spell and get the enemy queen. And then he just starts with mass hogs from up top, and look at this. It's a perfect shape of an L, right? Start here, go over to here, and over to here. That's an L. And when you see that L shape, you're thinking hogs, or at least a loon, right? Lot of bombs there, but the hogs sort of avoided them in the way they pathed, and he still has heal spell and the warden ability left, and there's nothing left to challenge these hogs. I mean, there's close to 30 hogs left, and he started with like 35, I think. So not much challenge at all. He has a swag warden ability on this attack, not something you see every day against a max base. So don't use this base either. It's not very good, because Reese really took care of it, and it was a really, really well planned out attack by Reese, and he swags the warden ability there at the end. So we were up a star because they didn't triple anything early. And then all of a sudden we exchanged 1 stars here, where Berg unfortunately got a 1 star, but then they 1-starred Berg on the very next attack, so we were still back to even. And then what ended up happening was they tripled Rose, my second account, to even things out. This was the only triple we gave up in the entire 7-day war on defense. So, you know, I guess that says good things about us. I mean, what, 7 times 5, 35, plus 70, 105 defense attempts, and only 1 was a triple. That's pretty amazing. But we had to ice the war, and so what happened was, after that triple, unfortunately for them, they 1-starred Big Al. So then that put it back down to, it was 29-26, and we needed 2 2-stars to win. And we got 2 3-stars. So we'll start with Shady Titan with the Frozen Dragon variation here. And this was really overkill. It is a weak base. I'm going to put it on 4 times, but heroes build the funnel. All the dragons come in, 1 Electro Dragon just for a little bit of chain value. And then he just rages and freezes his way through the base. He had, unfortunately for this guy, he had his air defenses right next to his Inferno Towers, which made for some great freeze value. And as you're going to see, the Stone Slammer, I don't even think it popped, or if it pops at the end. Yeah, it popped at the end. And it takes down a whole bunch. And he's still got 4 dragons standing, the King's still standing, the Warden's still standing, and all it is point defense. There's not even an Inferno Tower, because all of them were on the same side. So when you see those bunched Inferno Tower sets, think dragons. Or at least think like Kill Squad Hogs. There's a lot of different ways to take down those kind of bases, and they're just not a good defensive set base. So that tied the war at 29-29, but we were losing on defense. And then to ice the move up to Champs 3, we have my final attack against this classic island base. A very weak version of it, but there's a dozen ways to take this down. They're all over YouTube. One that we favor is kind of this Kill Squad Hogs variation. There's one that we've used in the past that's more of an Electron. I was a little bit concerned about the Electron because of the depth of the Queen on this base compared to some other bases, but it ended up working out for me either way. I used a delayed wall wrecker to get to the Town Hall, and to get through that enemy Inferno Tower, a couple of just hogs in there to take down the Inferno Tower. Didn't want to have it messing with my wrecker getting through there. And the Queen takes down all the pups, used a rage spell to make sure that that wrecker got through the final wall, and then once it reached the Town Hall, dropped an Earthquake, dropped a Freeze to make sure the P.E.K.K.A. would get through. And then we just start with mass hogs, and as you can see, with that Town Hall down, it's basically a nice loop. They're just going to start here and work their way around the base clockwise, and this is going to be an easy triple. You got cleanup coming down as things are going down. A little bit of a mishap here. For some reason, the Grand Warden decides that a 25 space P.E.K.K.A. is more important than approximately 150 space of hogs, but that's Supercell's AI. That's not my fault. Put it up to 4 times. Even with that last heal spell going down a little bit early, there's more than enough hogs to just get through all the last couple defenses, and this was a really overkill 3-star Swag Warden ability, and that moved us up to Champs 3. So we're super happy about it. It's not every day that you hear a clan going up, basically 6 full tiers in 1 year. And we're really, really proud of our achievements. So everyone who helped us get to this point, you know who you are at this point. Thank you guys very much. It's been a great team effort. If you're interested in joining our clan or getting involved in any way, we do have a Discord server. I've linked it in the description. In-game, we are #8YOP2UUJ. If you watch this YouTube video and are interested in joining our clan, please apply with the password alpha. And if you use that, you'll be accepted and we'll know you from YouTube. On that note, I thank you guys for watching, and I hope you guys enjoyed this content. We'll be coming out with a couple of war recap, strategy, attack type videos where we'll talk about certain kind of attack strategies that are better for war. One for hogs is coming up specifically, as well as one for probably drag, because we have a whole bunch of attacks on that. We'll be looking for those to come out probably. I'd say tomorrow maybe. So keep an eye out for those. And again, this is Saber from the Neighborhod signing off. Thanks and have a great day.